Hello, good afternoon and good morning. It is block height 942,981. This is the debut Antidote podcast. And, well, where do we begin? Let's start at the beginning. No idea what Antidote is? Never heard of us before? Well, I suppose now's the time to start finding out. So I'm here with Lola. My name's Ben. I am the one of the co-founders and CEO of Antidote. I'm here with Lola, who is Lola, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, so I'm Lola. I work at Antidote covering our events and our community work and marketing. I've been here since January, and yeah, that's kind of my overarching intro.
That's great. That's very good.
Is it? I'm not sure, but...
One of the best I've ever heard.
Brilliant. Okay, fair enough.
So no one knows what Antidote is. What's Antidote to you?
So I think Antidote to me is a physical hub, firstly. I think that I would describe it mostly as a community hub in London for people within the Bitcoin ecosystem. I think that the great thing for me about Antidote is there's so many different people walking through our door. So we are a community hub, we have a physical space, but we aren't limited to the type of people that come into Antidote. So we have a lot of people that are developers within Bitcoin, people that are investors, operators, but also just people that are curious about the industry and might not have a massive background in it, like me.
I was going to ask that. So what would you describe your opinion of Bitcoin as being, or even why did you come here?
Yeah,
why did you join me?
Why the hell am I here? So I definitely don't have a Bitcoin background. It's kind of how I lead in the industry, which is, not the best opener for some people, but I have a background in events and marketing, and I was at a company called Moonbug Entertainment for I think about 7 years, and that is a kids digital media company. So if anyone knows Cocomelon was my life for the past 7 years. So that's pretty annoying and stuck in my head. But my background, isn't in Bitcoin, isn't in this industry, but my background in working at a startup led me to want to work at Antidote. So this company obviously, fosters great ideas from startup companies. You have a lot of different people coming through the door. And I was interested in that angle of Antidote versus the actual Bitcoin. I mean, I'm learning about it day by day. So, I'm getting more involved in that. But it wasn't the first thing that made me come to the company.
We'll get you there.
Yeah.
We'll get you there.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah, you know what the mempool is now.
Yeah, I do. That was a big moment for me. That.
Huge mental unlock.
Yeah,
never seen things the same way since. And we're here in a physical space, so Hatton Garden's where we're at in central London. It is indeed an incubator. We've created both London's Bitcoin hub and a space for founders and entrepreneurs in the ecosystem to come and get funded and get building. But let's talk a little bit about the space. So I mentioned we're on Hatton Garden. What do you think of this office space? Can you describe it?
Okay, so it's an amazing space, and I'm not even being biased. Everyone that comes in our doors loves it. The space, we have an office space in a building called the Bindery, a big space with desks, with meeting rooms. We've also recently got an arcade machine, which everyone's very, very excited about. And yeah, it's a lovely space. All of our meeting rooms are named after cryptographers, yes. Yep, that's it. Which everyone obviously loves. And yeah, it's an amazing space, really open. It's going to be great in summer. We've got a rooftop, which is better. Obviously in summer it's a bit awkward. I'm showing people around and it's raining, but they get the view. But yeah, an amazing space.
Nice.
Do you think it's good? Do you like the space?
I've always hated it.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, every minute of every day is agony.
Yeah.
It's lovely and it's nice and bright. Good big windows, a productive environment, and I think honestly one of the most premium Bitcoin spaces in the world, which I'm quite proud of. And let's talk a little bit about the founder program. So, I mean, this is an introductory podcast, and we're going to get into some exciting stuff as we get into this. But I think, really this is an opportunity for us to talk about ourselves before we get into our regular content format. I think just for the benefits of everyone listening, if you're an aspiring builder, if you've got an idea, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are an engineer, Antidote takes up to 12 founding teams a year. Every entrepreneur has the chance to get a $50,000 investment, and then that turns into 6 months of incubation. We do 3 months of pretty paced sprints going through different topics, including go-to-market, identifying customer profiles, pricing, how to actually launch a product. And then there's 3 months of building, where your own head goes down and you start working away at it. But Lola, you've seen the first cohort come in here. What do you make of the teams?
I think they're all great. I'll open with that. I think that it's been really interesting seeing the founders come in and seeing their early demos of the products that they're making. Obviously, like I said, I have a few questions on what it is and how it works, but I think that it's been really interesting seeing how, even though each of the founders has their own unique selling point and their unique product, they are able to help each other in these sessions that we run. So obviously, like you said, the founders program uses the curriculum that our Antidote founders build, and within those meetings, the cohort are talking to each other about networking opportunities that they have, like connecting each other with different tools they're using. So I think that it's really nice seeing how, even though they're building completely different things, they're able to overlap and help each other. I think it's been pretty cool, and I've learned a lot. I mean, one of the people in our cohort, called Alekos, is building a digital ID. Mm-hmm. I'll give it that intro. That's as much as I know. But it's been really cool seeing the technicalities that he's been putting through. We did some tests today with how he can scan an ID and it can, test if it's real or not and verify it. It's been really cool also, just from a personal element, seeing the things that they can build. Like, it's mental. They're sitting behind me and they're literally building a robot. I'm like, what the hell? But anyway, it's crazy, but it's really cool seeing the different stuff. So I'm new to it. So yeah.
Excellent. And do you think, we're gonna have each of them on the podcast speaking about their businesses, mm-hmm. talking about themselves. Do you see the benefits of an incubator like this through their eyes? Do you see them improving? Do you see anything changing?
Mm-hmm. I think definitely you can definitely see even just the improvement from a personal level. I think that obviously they've each got their own expertise, and some of them, might not be salespeople and, know a lot about their products and know how it works, but aren't comfortable going into a room of investors and pitching it. And I think that, seeing the cohort every day and just having, coffee with them and having lunch with them, you can also just see them building and getting better on a personal level, like getting more confident, getting, more comfortable with London and networking and coming to our events and chatting to investors. So I think that you can definitely see how having a cohort program with multiple people is beneficial versus them just, coming in by themselves, I think.
That's very reassuring.
Yeah. Do you think it's going well? How would you say it's going?
I'm very excited to debut these companies to the market. Yeah, mm-hmm. I think we were discussing this just the other day in our weekly sync, and we have definitely seen not just parts of the curriculum being put into practice, but also the mindset that we've been trying to instill in folks about what it means to build a business does appear to be feeding through. Mm-hmm. The proof will be in the pudding, and we're going to have to get the founders on the podcast and say that. And I promise all the listeners that when these things happen, I'm not sitting here with a gun pointed at the interviewer's head. So they are speaking of their own volition and giving honest feedback. So that's the incubator, and we've just opened applications for the September cohort. So folks who are interested in applying for Antidote can apply today at antidotebtc.com. They should do so and feel very willing to. You can also come and meet us at upcoming Bitcoin conferences. So we'll be at Mad Bitcoin in Madrid, one of my favorite cities, as well as Prague for BTC Prague. I think that one turns into kind of like an unofficial British Bitcoiners doing what British people abroad do best. So you can come and meet us there and learn more about the incubator, ask us questions. Obviously, we are a physical hub, so we like it when people drop in and show their faces. If you've got an idea, if you've got thoughts, if you're not sure about anything, reach out. You can contact us at team@antidotebtc.com, but you can also just walk in and say hello within reason.
Yeah, I was just going to add as well something to say is, like Ben said, that we want people to come in and meet people and network and things like that. And like, Ben briefly mentioned at the start of the podcast, there's a lot of, people in the industry and people in the ecosystem, but there's not a physical space where people can meet up. It's all online. And I think that something that we've really push hard for at Antidote is turning these online conversations to offline in person. And I think that, you know, all the events we've got coming up that I'm sure we'll speak about a bit later in the podcast, but we want people to come in to chat. We've got a lot of open days coming up, so just to promote those, we've got a lot of great panel discussions, things like that. So yeah, we want people to come in and ask questions.
I was going to segue onto events, so it's nice. So if someone isn't we focus straight into the incubator. That's Antidote's main business. We invest in promising young founders in the Bitcoin space. But if someone is not a founder, Lola, you run our events and our community. Mm-hmm. What's Antidote got for them?
So we've got loads of things for, you know, anyone that wants to come into the space. So we run all different types of events for, like I said, operators, developers, investors, people that are just curious and don't know too much about Bitcoin. We've got some great panel discussions coming up. We do some hackathons and builder sessions. We're also running some conferences later in the year. But something to emphasize as well is, obviously, I'm biased, I guess, because I'm not from a Bitcoin background, but I think that the great thing about our events is it's not just, you know, Bitcoin conversations, and I don't know if that's the right way to put it, Bitcoin conversations, but conversation about Bitcoin. But we also really, is that a bad thing to say? I don't know how to.
No, it's not a bad thing to say.
Don't want to offend that Bitcoiners out there, I'm new to it. But the emphasis that we also put on our events is like learning how to market a business, learning from startup companies, learning from founders. So even if you're not solely interested in Bitcoin, I think it's worth coming and listening to our founders about how they created Antidote, what their mission was, that type of thing. It's a real variety, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Nice. I do think you've done a very good job setting that up.
Okay, thank you.
Say that in public. Yeah. Who are some of the most surprising figures you've seen come in here? Like, you know, while we're talking, I've watched two people wander in the door. I see. I'm not going to dox them. That's not very.
It's not very Bitcoin.
Yeah, not very Bitcoin. So who, you know, what surprised you in terms of the types of people that have turned up? What's maybe the most amusing thing that has happened?
I can definitely talk about the most amusing thing about the industry as a whole. I think the type of people maybe ties into it. I think that coming into this industry with no, you know, prior knowledge of it has definitely been a bit of a shock to the system in a good and a bad way.
Let's talk about that.
Okay. I think that the communities that we've had through the door have firstly been very welcoming and very willing to talk about Bitcoin, especially to people like me who are a bit, I don't know if I should say this, but a bit hesitant towards it, or a bit, you know, I don't know too much, and I think that I find the conversation a tiny bit intimidating when you don't know about an industry and you're kind of thrown into it. But I think that some of the things I just think I'm wrapping my head around is we had a massive conversation the other day at lunch about privacy and what they call NIMS. Mm-hmm. I don't get that. Sorry, I find
short
that
for pseudonyms.
Pseudonyms. Okay, that makes sense.
You know what I know
that. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. But yeah, we've had a lot of conversation about privacy, and obviously, you know, I'm 25 and I'm obsessed with TikTok and Instagram, and I'll, you know, put my data out there. Bad to say, but it's definitely been a lot of interesting conversations, which I think is good because there's a lot of different people coming through, you know, the doors, and I can chat to them. But yeah, that's something I just don't get. Learned about wrench attacks. That was a new thing for me the other day, which was mental. Again, had a really interesting conversation with one of our...
that was nervous laughter.
Fair. But we had like a lot of interesting conversations. But it's definitely been new.
Did you have preconceived notions of what Bitcoin people would be like before you started here?
Probably. I probably did have preconceived, what did you say?
Did you have an idea in your head of what a Bitcoin person would be? Like, what would you have expected?
I think I would have expected people that are kind of underground and kind of off the grid and remote and don't want to, you know, give their privacy out, their identities out, which I feel like is probably correct in some cases. I think that I didn't really expect the community in the industry to be as welcoming to people that don't know much about it, or aren't on the side of their mindset. I think that it's been interesting because I think that going into these conversations, you know, I'm talking about the type of news that I listen to, and the things I subscribe to. And I think that instead of being met with, a lot of animosity and negativity, I think that people are really keen to tell you about the stuff that they believe in, or like look at other alternative ways of getting news and stuff like that. So I think that I didn't really come in with a lot of preconceptions about what the people would be like. I think that it's just mainly a shock because it's very different to the people that I used to surround myself with. But that's not a negative thing. That's more of a, interesting thing, positive thing.
Okay. So you didn't have this idea of like the crypto bro, which usually gets thrown around, or am I leading the witness there?
I don't think I really had that. I think that it's, I don't think so. I think, again, like I said, I think that the community here has been so different to what the stereotype is. I think that because we've got so many different types of people coming in and different companies coming in, it's kind of just not like a one mold for everybody. I feel like it's like a lot of different conversations. But I do think that this industry gets a bad rep. I think, like, when I tell my friends that I'm in Bitcoin, people might just be like, oh, what the hell? Like, I don't, crypto bros and blah, 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 finance bros. But I think that we're changing that. I feel like this company is different to what people might expect it to be when they come to an event or come to a session or something.
Hell yes. Good.
I'm being
nice.
I'm being positive.
Radical optimism.
Yeah, positive.
I've been most surprised by the amount of random pieces of art relating to Bitcoin that we're gifted. It's like it's becoming a bit of a shrine.
Yeah, it's meant. I don't also get. Maybe I shouldn't say I don't get the artwork, but it's definitely unique.
Oh, I love it.
It's unique.
I love it.
Really, you love it?
Yeah, in all of its gaudy orangeness.
Yeah, I'm still learning the different like references and things like that, but I feel like everything's got a place and a meaning, which I think is kind of cool. But yeah, it is crazy, but yeah, interesting.
Interesting indeed. Yeah. Well, we're picking up people who are coming in, and this is obviously a means to raise awareness about everything we're doing. And if you are, the British Bitcoin ecosystem is something I've been very close to for a number of years now, and it's been really interesting to see it particularly in the last 3 years. I would say there was like an inflection where it went from meetups in the pub, which are great. I am English. I like the pub a lot, but they've now sort of really coalesced around a more coherent movement. And when you look at things like the Bitcoin Collective and the Bitcoin Business Network and the team, the work that the team over there, Jordan and Jez, are doing, when you look at Bitcoin Policy UK, when you look at the meetups that are organising by county, which I love seeing, so like Berkshire Bitcoiners, Bitcoin Surrey, none of this was there when I first started like trying to get involved in the UK Bitcoin scene. So I wanted to make sure the place had a home in the centre of London, and here we are. We've done it. Yeah. So then we come to this podcast, and we've talked about there's a lot of Bitcoin podcasts.
There's thousands.
There's a lot.
Thousands of millions. I don't know. It's too many.
And do you know what they all talk about?
Bitcoin.
I was going to say like Ethereum. No, they all talk about Bitcoin. And so how can we be different? Well, Antidote's an incubator and accelerator. So we've got 3 shows that we're going to put out there, and we're going to be quick because London's a quick city, and it's a city that you can walk, and it's a city that you can run. It's a city that you can cycle, although you shouldn't be listening to a podcast while you're cycling, road safety and all that.
Get off the bike.
But, your commute is probably like 30 minutes, 40 minutes, broadly speaking, if I take a wide average. Some folks obviously out in zone 6 might disagree. But this is commuter fodder. That's what this is.
Yeah,
so 30 minutes with the Antidote news, and that will be a more regular update on what's going on in the Bitcoin ecosystem. Our angle is going to be slightly more commercial, venture capital, and entrepreneurship focused. So interesting Bitcoin startups, Bitcoin fundraising announcements, new entrants into the space, be they VCs, be they companies, or be they entrepreneurs. This is designed to help you stay on the pulse about what's going on in Bitcoin. And this will be global. Obviously, we're going to be biased whenever it's UK and Europe centric. We'll probably zoom in on it a little further. But Bitcoin news is global news, and the world is, it's internet money. Then we have Antidote Inside, which is us looking inwards. So it's a deep dive show. That's where you're going to learn about the founders we're incubating. We'll bring them on and have them talk about their businesses. The events we're throwing, the fun things we do, the policy making activity we'll get involved with, the folks in our network, the member spotlights. It's going to be probably a lot more interview-led format, but same sort of broad length, 30 minutes, no more, no less. There's enough 2-hour shows out there. Then the last one, the one that will surprise people. Do you want me to reveal
I think
the
it's
surprise?
your little thing. I think you should do it.
My little thing, yeah.
Well, not little thing. I've downplayed it, but I think you should talk about it.
No, it's the thing that no one cares about. But we're just doing it anyway.
You should not have said little thing.
Yeah, the third show on the Antidote podcast will be audio snobbery. What's that? I'm
super excited for this one. This will be really cool.
You sound extremely excited.
I'm playing it down, but I'm screaming inside, but I'm excited.
What's the most exciting thing that you've ever come across in your life?
What, in life?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Most exciting thing I've ever come across in life?
Yeah.
To be fair, we were talking about it at lunch, and it did remind me, because we were talking about Louis Theroux, but honestly, I went to a live show, and I saw Louis Theroux talk, and I was like proper fangirl moment, and I screamed. So maybe that.
Okay, so Louis Theroux is the most exciting thing that's ever
I don't know. I'm only 25. I don't know what's that. When I'm older, I'll say a kid or something interesting. Louis Theroux, or I don't know the word. I can't even say the things that are springing to mind, because the other thing is like mini eggs. That's like one of the most exciting things.
Mini eggs.
Yeah, people will know. They're insane. I actually think that's a good answer.
Louis Theroux and the most exciting.
Yeah, mini eggs. If people would know that is actually probably my answer,
Okay.
or M&S. Those are the three. I've given you three options. Yeah. Yeah, someone's got to relate to that's listening. Someone will go, I was about to say that.
I mean, I hope so. I hope so. I
Yeah.
think, like, the most exciting thing the first things that come to mind off the top of my head, Rolling Stones live at Glastonbury, headliner. I was at the front.
Fair.
I'm just going to make me sound like an old man, but also anything involving Nine Inch Nails, Prince, or any of my favourite musicians. Which brings us back to audio snobbery. So audio snobbery is the music strand of the podcast. It's a reflection of our belief at Antidote that Bitcoin and technology should touch culture, not just finance. So it's going to be an episode about music, the creator economy, streaming economics, and the intersection of art and technology. Now, where does audio snobbery come from? Audio snobbery was a music blog, or is a music blog, because it is not dead, it's merely resting. And here it comes back roaring, that I ran with 5 other snobs for several years, and we made personalized playlists of our favorite music. We critiqued everything that was coming out and had very, very strong opinions about the music that was good and bad in the world.
Who would you say is the worst? Who makes the worst music?
Who makes the worst music of all time?
Or who do you think, who's your top 5?
Top 5 artists?
Yeah.
My heroes. Prince, Bowie, Nine Inch Nails, Trent Reznor, Kendrick Lamar, and Radiohead.
Nice. That's a good one. No top, least bottom 5?
Worst music of all time.
I'm going to say my favourites or something. It'll be really awkward.
No, there is, music that I absolutely can't stand. So I always think Taylor Swift is like...
She gets bad rap, though.
The best thing I saw is it's bad rap because it's completely bland. So someone once posted a photo online that I thought just caught it perfectly. It was a photo of just some steamed cauliflower on a white plate, and it just said Taylor Swift. And I think that's what it is. Just the blandest music. But I don't think it's necessarily the worst music, because I like Shake It Off, for example.
Fair play.
I like actually a lot of contemporary pop. I've been surprised by that. Terrible, legitimately terrible music. Lou Reed's Metal Machine music is quite bad. If you've never, yeah. So I'll
listen to that later.
It's 1 hour of static.
Oh my gosh.
Like white noise.
Yeah, that's mental.
Yeah, pretty awful.
I don't get that.
Yeah, there's also, there's been some real stinkers in the 90s. The 90s was a bad decade for music as much as it was a good decade for music.
Yeah, I was going to say I thought it was good. Everyone's like...
Did you like S Club 7?
I did, yeah. I listened to that on my iPod. What's their famous one? I say that, I'm not really...
S Club...
Wait, I don't know, I'm just singing a random song.
Okay.
What's their main one?
Ain't
Bring
no
it
party like
back.
an S Club.
No,
Bring It Back is...
Don't Stop. Do you know what I mean? Bring It All Back, Don't Stop, something, I don't know.
Don't stop.
Yeah, no, that's not it.
Okay, no, never mind.
Oh, I don't know, but they're great, yeah.
Rubbish.
Yeah.
They're awful.
Oh, really?
They're
I
terrible.
thought that song's good.
They're terrible. And then there's that early 2000s period where all the music just became terrible, and then Napster came out, and basically just everything changed, didn't it?
Fine.
Yeah.
I like 2000s music.
Yeah. So and this audio snobbery side of things, it ties back to an event we're putting on, doesn't it?
Yep, exactly. So we're putting on our first live music event on the 30th of April. We're partnering with Fountain, who are the leading, we're talking about them as we're on them currently.
Yeah.
So we're partnering with Fountain, who are an amazing platform. We actually just had Oscar in the office earlier, and we had a great chat about the event coming up, which we're really excited about. But the way that we're doing it is we've got a venue in the Old Blue Last in Shoreditch, and we will be putting on a live event with artists and DJs, and we'll be giving the audience the chance to support the artists through Fountain as they're watching live, or there's also going to be a live stream, so people can send Bitcoin to the artists that they like using a credit that we'll be giving the ticket holders. So it's a really exciting event. Obviously, like Ben's been saying, we're interested in music and the intersection of Bitcoin into all these industries. So it's going to be a first. It's going to be a lot to put on a music event. So I'm excited and also screaming. So that's going to be really fun. But that's on the 30th of April. We've got tickets out now. So go grab a ticket, bring a friend. It'll be a really cool event. We're excited for it.
I am extremely excited about this. It might be worth sharing with folks a little bit more about the Old Blue Last as a venue. Do you know what the Old Blue Last is? Are you familiar with its reputation?
I'm not familiar with the reputation. I've been there a few times for drinks, but I'm not super familiar with the history. But the actual venue itself is really cool, and we've got the live room upstairs. The space is really cool. I don't really know too much about the history. I've been writing saying legendary, but that's mainly just a guess and versus knowing the actual history of it. If I'm honest,
it's legendary. If we okay.
I've been saying legendary, but I'm just pushing it. I don't.
So the Old Blue Last is owned by Vice. Do you know Vice?
Yeah,
Vice Media.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, and they used to run Vice magazine, which was edgier back in the day, but then they went mainstream. So Vice's offices used to be there, and it's quite a well-known gig venue in London, and relatively central and relatively large. I think this will be one of the cooler live music events that have been done in this ecosystem. And the bands, who's playing?
So we've got a real mix of genres, which we're really excited about. So I guess the vibe of it is, in a sense, a bit like a festival. So, you can come and hear some genres that you might not normally listen to, some genres that you like. So we've got Longy, who is a great solo artist who will be coming. I know he's performed a bit in the Bitcoin ecosystem already, but he's going to be amazing. We've also got a DJ called Andy Prince, who's coming, part of the 2140 music group. So he's going to be great. I'm excited to hear him. He's definitely my music style, so I'm a tiny bit biased. I'm excited to hear his set.
Shout out to Nat and his crew as well.
Exactly. So I'm really excited for that. We've also got a band called the Paisley Days, who are brilliant. They're more of, I guess, like an indie band, you would say, like the genre, yeah. They're going to be insane. That we're really excited to see them come. We've also got another artist called Sylvan Unlocked, who again is, I guess, a multi-genre artist. He does a bit of rap, he does a bit of pop, and he's an upcoming artist. He's done a few live gigs, and he's really excited to use the Fountain platform and get involved in this. And then we've also got another DJ called DJ Ruzi, who does more like house and Afro house and like Brazilian funk. So we've got a lot of something for everyone in there, definitely. And like I said, it's going to be a really cool event to get people interested in how Bitcoin can get into the music industry and how people can use Fountain. So it's going to be really cool.
Yes, Fountain's fantastic. It's really near and dear to my heart. I've watched artists complain about being paid for, I don't know, as long as I can remember. When I was a kid, Prince used to say, "If you don't own your masters own you." He was always good with words.
That's good. We should have thought that.
Clever little fella.
Yeah, we should have thought that.
And then there was the era in Napster when Radiohead just put out their album and they were like, "Pay what you want." Trent Reznor, my hero, used to walk on stage and just say, "Steal my records," because it was all going for free online when I was younger. That's why everyone just downloaded everything, and then Spotify came along. And Spotify comes along as the hero, and it definitely solved a lot of issues, and it's a great app. But the way artists get paid, the labels still sit there and take 70-80%, and arguably they've got no distribution role to play anymore. And you've basically got to get to like 1 billion streams to make any money. Whereas with this value for value model where artists can truly be paid by their listeners, directly by their listeners, with no third parties, and they can be paid in real time, they can be paid live, they can be paid while distributing online. My own band, we've been on Spotify for 3 years. We've made 3 pennies in that time.
Got to start somewhere. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, in pre-inflation, I could have bought 3 1p suites, but I think now it doesn't even buy that. It's,
No, you're right.
Such is life. And then we put our music on Fountain. I think in a week I had made $10. And it got played on several podcasts. We'll be playing music on the Audio Snobbery podcast. So yeah, I'm very excited about this. Folks should come along. It's at a real venue. We've got real bands, many of them new to Bitcoin. They're being paid by the guests who are attending. It's going to be fun. And that is on April 30th. So you can register for that at antidote.btc.com. If you go to the events section up in the menu, you'll find our Luma. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Promo,
yeah, like and subscribe. Just please, for the love of God. That's why I'm doing this thing. How can folks get involved? We're nearly at time, and we're going to move from this one-off special episode that debuts the podcast into the 3-episode bonanza that will forever either leave a stain on the internet or make us somewhat better known in this world.
Cancelled.
You're not going to get cancelled.
No,
you might get cancelled if you walk on a Bitcoin podcast and be like,
I
love Doge.
Yeah, whether that is, yeah.
Yeah, no, don't worry, never bothered looking it up.
Okay, that's no worries. Cool. That's another thing I don't need to look up. That's fine.
It's just a waste of energy anyway. Everything online is.
Okay. Bitcoin only. That's all I know.
Good.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good. If someone's listening right now and they've managed to make it through this what is it, 30 minutes of waffle that we've done, what should their takeaways be?
I think their takeaway should definitely be, obviously, check out our website and see all the things we've been talking about a bit more in depth. I think the first thing that I would say is, honestly, come to one of our events. Obviously, I'm biased and I run our events, so I want people to come. But I think that is the best way to just get your foot in the door at Antidote. If you're interested in the cohort program, if you're interested in looking at our workspace and chatting to the team, I think the best way is just sign up to one of our events on Luma. We've got a lot of open office days coming up. We're going to do one weekly starting from the 14th of April. So I think, just go sign up to one of our events, come meet the team, vice versa. If you're not, super thrilled. If you're not interested in the events and you just want to come and meet the team, you can also email us at team@antidotebtc.com. Just reach out. I think we're a community where we want to meet people, we want to connect in real life. So we've got a lot of ways to do that. Join our Telegram group as well, Antidote BTC, and get chatting on that, meet new people. I think just get your foot in the door and come. We're in Hatton Garden, like we said. It's a really nice area, Diamond District, so you can come do a bit of browsing, come see our office. I would say that.
Bit of browsing.
Bit of promo, come buy a diamond ring as well. Yeah. So there's an advantage.
Physical gold meets digital gold is what someone said to me, and I just taken it and run with it.
Yeah, it's brilliant, that.
It's pretty good. I mean, we did put it here deliberately.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
intentional.
Not too bad. Yeah, and this is for builders and optimists. No doom here. You can fix things. You can do things. When people get despairing about everything that's going on in the world, look up from the glass slab of doom that has fixated your stare and think about the fact that sometimes the sun shines, people smile at each other.
That's nice.
And you can build the world you want to live in. That's what this is for, being the cure. So, thanks for people who tuned in. I have no idea what I'm doing running a podcast. I've never done it before.
I think we smashed it.
Well, good. So
I think so.
Self-appraised 10 out of 10.
Yeah, being positive.
Yeah, well,
no doomerism. We were great. It was positive.
We're stuck doing it now, aren't we?
Yeah,
so tune in. We're going to be doing these every 2 weeks, starting with the episodic format that gives us structure. Thank you, Claude. From next Friday, I believe. So thank you, everyone. We close at block height 942,981. Lola has no idea what that means.
I'm literally just nodding for people that are listening. I'm just nodding and smiling. But
speak to you all soon.
Bye.
Bye.